Hello, McFluffy52 here, bringing you some more Brothers War action, and today I'm bringing you kind of a cursed deck list called Sheoldred Tribal. Now, this deck is centered around all about Sheoldred the Apocalypse, and the challenge is basically, can we make a deck with Sheoldred being the only creature in the entire deck and still win? So that's kind of what we're doing today. If you enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps out the channel a ton. And let's get into the deck tech. Today, we're playing Sheoldred the Apocalypse, Death Touch, 4/5, 2 generic mana, 2 black. Whenever you draw a card, gain 2 life. Whenever an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life. I firmly believe that this card is like way too much for 4 mana. I think it's kind of a crazy good card. But I will say, building a deck with only Sheoldred in it and removal spells is probably not a bright idea. And that's basically what this is. It's a bit of a challenge, I would say, in the sense that, like, can we win with just Sheoldred? And it is possible. This deck actually has won some matches. I haven't played any ranked with it yet, but I will be doing that in this video, and we'll check out together how well we can do. This deck has a bunch of different removal and some other important spells. So getting into the removal first, Sheoldred's at 4 drops, so we kind of have to stick around until 4 mana and then kind of protect Sheoldred if we can. So we got a ton of removal, and our removal here is we got cut down 4 copies of it. We have 3 Go for the Throats. Besides Go for the Throat, we also have Debt to Kami. Target opponent exiles a creature they control. Target opponent exiles a enchantment they control. We can choose one of those. We have this because we need our opponents to be able to. We need to be able to get rid of our opponents' enchantments, and so this is our choice for that. We don't really have anything to get rid of artifacts, which is a bit of a problem. We also have Path of Peril here. This is for a bit more go wide strategies, lots of tokens. Unfortunately, I have not run into a ton of decks where this has been super useful, so maybe this is one of the cards that you want to consider swapping out if you're going to try this challenge for yourself. And then lastly, we have an amazing card with Soul Transfer. The only downside is it's sorcery, but we get to choose one. We can, if we control an artifact and an enchantment, which we probably will never, we can exile target creature or planeswalker. So this is our planeswalker removal in the deck. We have ways to get rid of enchantments, planeswalkers, and creatures. This is our planeswalker removal. We can exile target creature or planeswalker. And then nice second option, if we have nothing on the opponent's board that we want to remove, we can go ahead and try and return target creature or planeswalker from our graveyard to our hand. And so this is going to be a way to get our Sheoldred back if our opponents kill Sheoldred. And then lastly, if you really want to consider these removal, we have Gix's Command, which is a kind of modal card, 3 generic, 2 black, sorcery, and it says choose 2. The ones that we can use to kind of use as removal spells are destroy each creature with power 2 or less, and then we can also have each opponent sacrifices a creature they control with highest power among creatures they control. So that can be our kind of sweeper in light of Path of Peril not being very good when an opponent just kind of goes up the curve and ignores the standard thing to have tons of 2 drops. So yeah, this can also be very helpful with the option to return 2 creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. So we can pick up a Sheoldred from our graveyard if the opponent kills it and we're unable to keep it around. And speaking from getting things from the graveyard, we also have Cruelty of Gix, the saga from Dominaria United. I don't know why I can't say that. 3 generic, 2 black. Read ahead, so we can choose any chapter to just to jump to. But the first chapter allows us to look at the opponent's hand, and we get to choose a creature or planeswalker card, and they have to discard it. The next chapter is kind of useful in this deck as well. It says search your library for a card, put that card into your hand, and then shuffle it. You lose 3 life. So this can be a way to go ahead, actually find our Sheoldred if we happen to not have it in our hand, and then put it into our hand. And then the next chapter can also be very helpful if they kill our Sheoldred. It says put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So if we already have Sheoldred and there's no Sheoldred in the graveyard, we can try and steal our opponent's best thing that we managed to kill and not exile, because we do have some exile removal here with Soul Transfer, which is nice for those kind of cards that end up in the graveyard can keep being casted. Like, think of Tenacious Underdog, or Cityscape Leveler is another thing where, oh, it has Unearth, it can still be used for quite a lot of value. Debt to Kami, a target opponent exiles a creature they control. I'd say this card, despite being an Edict, is also really good because, well, our deck is all built around removing their stuff, so they're really going to only have one creature a lot of the time. So this card usually hits pretty well. Then, besides Cruelty of Gix and all of these removal spells, we have some other cards that kind of help fill in the other areas. So we got Undying Malice here. Until end of turn, target creature gains. When this creature dies, return to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it. This is for when we play Sheoldred and the opponent's holding up those removal spells. We can go ahead, cast Undying Malice on it, and keep it around. We can also chump with Sheoldred. Important to note, Sheoldred has Death Touch, so if they have a giant creature that they're swinging in, we can block with Sheoldred, cast Undying Malice on it before it dies, or it takes damage, and then go ahead and have it return to the battlefield after it does die. Then, lastly, we have some card draw spells. We got Cut of the Prophets. This is kind of a crappier version of Silver Scrutiny, which allows us to draw X cards and lose X life. So it's X black. Also has Casualty 3. We'll never be using the Casualty feature because we don't really want to sacrifice our Sheoldred. This card, I need draw spells. Well, we need draw spells to try and keep ourselves in the game, because we will lose gas, or we might need to draw into some gas. And Cut of the Prophets really helps us to keep going in that regard. It's awesome when we have a Sheoldred out there and we can cast it for like 6 or something and draw like 6 cards, lose 6 life, but then gain 12 life. And then we have a full hand, a full grip of removal or potential protection. And then speaking of other cool cards that draw cards, we have Blood Pact. Now this might seem not that great, but a kind of neat trick with it is, it says it's an instant, which is very nice. So we can cast this on the opponent's end step. We can hold up some of our instant speed removal, hold it up, and then cast it on our opponent's end step if they don't have anything that we want to remove. And we can draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. We're not too worried about our life total because we have Sheoldred to gain us life, as well as another card that we'll be talking about very shortly. But another trick we can do with Blood Pact is it says target player, so we can target our opponent, make them draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. This will trigger Sheoldred twice, making them lose an additional 4 life. So this can be basically do 6 damage to the opponent. You have to be really careful when you're giving your opponents cards though, but it is a nice trick to try and weed out our opponent even faster. And then lastly, we have Corrupt. This is a card from Brothers War. It's the cycle of cards which cares about the number of basic land types that you have, or number of a particular basic land type that you have. It's Corrupt. It's 5 generic, 1 black. Corrupt deals damage to any target equal to the number of swamps you control. You gain life equal to the damage dealt this way. Now, I really wanted this deck to be all about Sheoldred, and I tried to not put any other creatures in it, and then I tried not to put any other like black cards that are kind of like bombs. So there's no oh, what does that card cost? It's the 5 mana. Oh, Invoke Despair. So there's no Invoke Despair in here, but Corrupt is kind of a bit of a winner in this deck as well. So like I'd say if you're looking at like the cards that have the most impact in this, you're looking at Sheoldred, you're looking at Corrupt. And then of course we have 24 swamps, so that we can get as many swamps as we can. The life gain here, again, very helpful because, well, we're going to be bleeding a bit of life to cast our Cut of the Prophets and our Blood Pacts, and because we're not going to have any creatures on the battlefield besides Sheoldred. But that is the deck. Let's go see if we can win some ranked games. Now, I haven't played any ranked games with this. I've only played unranked games, so the deck pools are a little bit different, I think, so this might go a little bit worse, but we have Sheoldred in the hand, so I feel like it's a bit of a keep, but we do not have any 1-drop or 2-drop removal, so we might be putting ourselves into a bad place. We do have Path of Peril, but we do need to drop deck into more lands. Misery Shadow. Okay. That's interesting. I don't really want to face that. I'm going to go ahead and Path of Peril here. Because he can start pumping a lot of damage into that. Phyrexian Flesh Gorger. Well, our opponent's tapped out here, but do we really want to cast Sheoldred into no protection? I don't think so. I hate to say it. I do not think it's a good idea to pass Sheoldred here. We'll go ahead, hold up Sheoldred, and play it next turn with the Undying Malice as protection. Evolve Sleeper, that's fine. We're going to be taking 6 damage over the next couple of turns. Ooh. Ooh, that's rough. But we actually kind of hard counter it with our Sheoldred here. Go ahead, gain ourselves some cards, lose a little life. Alright, we got a backup Sheoldred, so I don't feel too bad about it if we end up losing our Sheoldred now. Kind of wish we had that before. But we should put the opponent into a pretty sticky situation in terms of drawing cards. Doesn't look like they had any removal that they wanted to cast there on upkeep. Do they have more removal? Because then we'll be a little bit sad, but... Go ahead. Yep. It comes back. Death Touch, we're taking 9 damage here. Ooh. That's 3 life every time they choose to draw a card. I don't know if that was worth. So we can pay 3 life here to destroy their Phyrexian Flesh Gorger, which is probably our biggest threat here. Could also pay 2 life to draw with Blood Pact, but then gain 2, and then we draw 2 cards, so we can draw into a removal, which would be kind of nice. We can't block the Evolve Sleeper, but we can keep Gix sort of at bay. I think we might go do this, because if we can draw into more protection, that didn't really work, but... if we could have drawn into more protection, that would have been very nice. Alright, we'll go ahead, hold back Sheoldred. We have cut down here. Our opponent draws another card, loses 2 life. We drew into another swamp, so our Corrupt is getting up there towards lethal. We do have Cruelty of Gix. That is a cut down target, but we need to make sure our opponent taps out first. Pass to attackers. Yep, you can attack in with that. Pass the blockers. Pass the damage. Second main phase if they're going to do anything. Gain 3 life. They can pay 3 life here if they wanted. I can't stop their Misery Shadow if I want, but... might go ahead and cast Corrupt on their Misery Shadow. Could cast this if we want to make it hard for our opponent, though I think we're actually looking at pretty close to dead here. So I'm going to go ahead and cast Misery Shadow, or cast Corrupt on Misery Shadow, gain 7 life, destroy the Corrupt. Whew! No attacks. We got double Sheoldred in hand. I don't know why I'm drawing into all of them this game, but... opponent losing life. Another full cost Flesh Gorger. We did not draw into as much removal as we normally do with this deck. What do we want to do with Cruelty of Gix? We're looking at 10 damage. Maybe... yeah, we're looking at a lot of damage this turn. We can tutor up... what card would we tutor up here? We don't have any good board... oh, I know a good board wipe. Or a good card to cast. We don't have Sheoldred in the graveyard. It's part of the problem, though. We could probably look at our opponent's hand, but if we look at our opponent's hand, it might be too late. Wait, does this put us at dead to an attack? I think that might put us at dead to an attack. Because if we search up our library for 3 damage, that puts us at 12, and then they can swing in with absolutely everything and kill us. So we have to tutor up a removal spell if we go for that. Let's just cast it and look at their hand to get rid of whatever is important. They got only swamps. Give them the obligatory hello. We'll gain 2 life when we draw a card here, so we can have Cruelty of Gix. Okay, we don't lose off of that, but we're pretty much gone. Oh, I was wrong. We do lose. I can't count blockers and I can't count life. You can see yet Sheoldred mono tribal is not the best. We were at a 50% win rate. That was our first loss, so we did dip. Our first loss in ranked. So we did dip there, but I think the only thing holding this deck back from being amazing, besides being like the super force like rule that we have to have only Sheoldred, is the fact that there's no, like I'm talking no good sweepers in black. You have like what is it, Drag Under, right, which is a sweeper, but you have to play other colors to do that, and this is trying to keep this deck monocolored, and it's not, don't have enough removal in that hand. We'll take this hand. We'll keep these. Still not much removal, which is funny when half our deck is removal. Pass turn. We're not going to draw 0 cards, lose 0 life. Seems like a pretty stupid plan. Opponent trying to out mono black us, I guess. This card, so many people are playing it. It is clearly a very good card. Yes, yes, yes. Resolve a Correction Flesh Gorger. I felt like it was forgot about. Like nobody played it for like the first week here, or the first like week of Brothers War, but then it started to see a lot of love. Go ahead, lose 3 life, draw 3 cards. I think it was pretty worth. Before our opponent gets, ooh, you filthy animal. First chapter. Oh no. The funny thing is we can play Cruelty of Gix and get rid of the Sheoldred they just tutored up. Wow. No way. No way. Look at who's removal tribal now. They have 2 exiles, so we can't actually get our Sheoldred working. That is like the biggest problem. Is Cruelty of Gix, or exiles do not work well for us. Undying Malice. You didn't get to tutor up our card. That's not fair. Playing 2 colors. That's not fair. Come on now. We're gonna wait till their end step, because if we kill it now, we bait ourselves in letting Sarah get Paragon replay it. I mean, remove Sarah Paragon this next turn. Yep. My turn. I don't even think we're gonna bother playing Sheoldred here. Well, I guess we can do it to see if they invoke Despair into it. Because if they invoke Despair into it, we get a use out of our Undying Malice. Draws a card, leads us to life. Do the invoke Despair. You know you want to. Come on. You know you want to. You know you want to. Son of a gun. Do it again. Please let it live. Destroy evil? Yes! Yes! We get one use out of our Undying Malice. Get wrecked. Now lose 2 life. Oh shit, they have instant speed. Because that's instant speed, we're playing that one. That's 2 Sheoldreds down. Those were 2 Sheoldreds in the top 6. What did I do to this deck to like suddenly get so many like Sheoldreds and stuff? Okay, do we think they have discard? That is the real question. If they have discard, we need to play this corrupt. Otherwise, I don't think they do. They're playing black and white. They're playing removal, invoke despair, everything, you know, annoying. Yep. Gix's command. We'll go ahead and pick up our Sheoldred. I hate doing this. I hate this. They're exiled. I have a problem. Now we can't corrupt their face. We have to corrupt their Sheoldred. Oi. And we could have used the Gix's command to 2-for-1 them there. We could have killed both of them. Oh my. Oh, piss off. You're playing 2 colors. Of course your deck's better. You're playing more than 1 creature. Of course your deck's better. I misplayed as well. That just kind of lost us the game. Okay, well, we wait till their turn. They play their Sheoldred. We lose like 7 life. And then we come back and maybe cast a good spell. No. There is no coming back from that. Of course, they also have Liliana in that deck. Oh no. I feel like there's just a hole in black removal. Or maybe I'm just playing. Maybe I picked bad cards. Like. There's no good sweepers, and then like I didn't want to stuff it with like no card draw. Need to put like 7 card draw spells, and even with 7 card draw spells, we don't roll into a card draw spell like half the time. Wanted some protection because the amount of people are just going to remove Sheoldred. It's just a bad idea to have Sheoldred as your only good card. We have corrupt, but corrupt is not enough. Get rid of the cut of the profit. Oh, we got rid of cut down. That's kind of dumb. I mean, they probably have another hand disruption spell. You don't play 1 duress, you play like 60. You're discarding. Yep, fool. Kind of weird. This is an instant? No, it's a sorcery. Why is it a sorcery? It's such a bad card. Just play blue if you want to draw cards. And never play cut profits. I mean, like, the art is dope. Like, don't get me wrong. The art looks really cool. But, it just ain't good. My turn. We are not top decking into anything, and our opponent playing a really good creature. Friction Flesh Quarter. Definitely very popular at this point. Oh my god. Okay, we gotta go for this for Soul Transfer, but we need like 2 lands to do that. Alright, what do we do? What do we do? How close are they popping off? How close are they to popping off with Gix? Not the closest, so I think we'll go ahead. Exile Phyrexian Fleshgorger. Yep. Resolve, pay the life. We don't want our opponent getting away with life totals. It also has a menace. Can you play a pump spell in response to this? I wonder. Because that'd be funny. Like a green black deck where you just like, you're trying to kill the Phyrexian Fleshgorger, give it +4/+4. Are you ready to pay 7 life? Go for the throat here, can deal with Gix. Yeah, this deck I feel like just needs to run too well to really work out. That is the problem of building around one card. Is it's a bad idea. You'd like the rest of your deck needs heavy synergies for it to be worth. Gonna gain a card. Yep. See, I do that all at once with my Cut of the Prophets. Gonna play Sheoldred. No Sheoldred? Come on. Come on, you play Sheoldred, don't lie. Go ahead, go for the throat, Gix. I haven't drawn into a land, there's no point in playing Sheoldred by yourself. They might have Undying Malice here themselves. Nope. Okay, that's cool. Six mana, they could corrupt us for 6 damage. Probably not playing that card though. I wonder. That'd be a fun deck to build, like a deck just around corrupt. What? You're not supposed to play that card. And we're not supposed to draw everything besides lands. You're on 6 lands, we're on 4. Removal. Yep. Trust the black deck to have at least 8 kill spell. You can't cast Corrupt this turn to kill us, though. Yeah, make us discard our Cut of the Prophets or Undying Malice. It's not like those cards are going to be helpful at this point. Alright, man. Don't make me do this myself. Alright, well, if you have any sort of damage spell, I'll take it. I'll take it. Alright, I'm gonna play like 2 more games. These ranked matches are going so much worse than the unranked matches, which I'm surprised to say. I feel like we're just drawing much worse. Like we didn't top deck into like lands there for like 4 turns straight. Thought this deck would turn out slightly better, considering how strong Sheoldred is, and then how it performed in like unrated matches. It's still like at least won a match. We have double Sheoldred in hand, like I kind of want to keep, but we have 2 lands, so you know we're not going to draw into any more fucking lands. And then of course, if we're going to draw into 2 Sheoldreds in our hand, we're also going to draw into the fucking 4 copies of like the 2 other high mana cost spells in our deck, because why not? Why wouldn't we have that? Some serious quality luck that we have. We don't need this many lands at this point. We'll probably not top deck into a 4th or any removal spells. Of course, it's Haughty Djinn. We have no graveyard removal, and they have stupid ward and counter spells, so we won't ever get to do anything. Yay! Oh, it's Is It. My bad. Is It. Prowess? Yeah, this is it prowess. Let them have their is it prowess moment. I'm gonna go ahead and cast this on this. If they want to protect it, they have to. They have no instance. Okay. They're playing blue, so they only probably have bounce. We should get this down before they bounce it. Then we can double or cut of the profits. But we probably don't want to block with the Sheoldred. That's the thing that needs to go. If they're smart here, they hold up these sort of spells that they have. Okay. Gonna kill Balmore. Now they can't pump their etchings. Well, they could phase it out or shore it up. And we win. Yay, what a cool match. I don't recommend this deck at all. The games that I did win in like standard queue were also not super interesting because it's like removal. Removal. We cast Sheoldred. If they have any removal, we can Undying Malice it. Removal. And the opponent's just like, we're sitting there for 10 minutes, and I'm just like, no, don't play Magic. And it's like, okay. Oy. I mean, this is good removal. Assuming our opponent doesn't have the 15th million Phyrexian Flesh Gorge that we run into today. Like, oh my goodness. Didn't realize that card was apparently the card to play now. We're top decking into lands, which is nice, so that we can keep our land drops up. It's nice to have at least 4 or 5 mana. Opponent impulsing here, probably discarding a bunch of... Oh wait, no, that's not the one that discards or tosses things into the graveyard. Go ahead, pass our turn. Play a Haughty Djinn, please. So you're gonna have 5 lands, so you'll be able to protect your Haughty Djinn. That's lame. Or 4 lands are gonna be able to protect your Haughty Djinn. Discarded an island, so maybe they don't have an island. Please don't have an island and play out a Haughty Djinn. It's not okay. I don't appreciate this. Haughty Djinn matchup's no fun. You wanna know why the Haughty Djinn matchup's no fun? And I think Haughty, like, I know that I complained about Sheoldred. I think Sheoldred's definitely, like, probably one of the best cards. Creature cards this year. But Haughty Djinn's, in my opinion, worse. Because you just sit there, do fucking nothing for, like, 5 turns. They're doing nothing, just like us. And then you cast your 3 mana, 10-4, and one-shot kill them. It's like, yeah, you did nothing. And then you also get to one-shot them? Like, Sheoldred, you at least do nothing, and you have to, like, sit around for a while. Haughty Djinn's not fair because you just kill them. Dead. Whatever. Like, I did nothing for this many turns, but I also just get to kill you in, like, 2 turns. It's like, no, Sheoldred doesn't do that. That's not fair. I'm gonna hold up Caught Up Prophets. I don't really want to cast it yet. Like, they have a shit ton of mana, and they're just gonna counterspell. They probably have every single counterspell in their fucking hand. You're gonna have to play a creature eventually. Little turd. Teferi. We do not have our Teferi removal. You may go. I'll cut it down. Yepers.
I've got eyes everywhere.
They could consider here to draw a card to keep this from actually killing. I'm willing to take that chance. That means that they tap out, we can cast a big cut of the profits, and then... Well, if we cast a big cut of the profits, we're gonna be... Yep, Spell Pierce. But yes, Resolve. Auto pay. Yeah, I have a ton of cards. It's gonna work out fine. And then this for 4. We lose 4 life, draw 4 cards. That's pretty good. Auto pay. Bing. Still no. They're blue. They're not going to be playing any kill spells. We can discard that. And we kind of want to keep these lands. Fine. We'll keep 1 land. I kind of like to keep the swamps in hand because then we can create a really big corrupt. Opponent only had a spell pierce to defend themselves. Kind of silly. Excited to see a familiar face. We'll go ahead and pass turn. Opponent not playing any instants, which is strange. Okay, which one of these is the bigger problem? Go ahead, go for the threat of this. Maybe they let this go through because they have the other Haughty Djinn. Or the Haughty Djinn coming in. But we make... Haughty Djinn makes their spells cheaper, so we want to do this before Haughty Djinn comes down, I think. That's fine. Now they have no spells up, and I can go ahead and get rid of their Haughty Djinn as I please. Yeah, little turd. We'll get rid of both, actually.
Much to consider.
Much to consider. No protection in hand, which is a bit sad, but they're only gonna bounce or counter. Do we go ahead and Blood Pact here? I think we just go ahead and Blood Pact here. They can't counter it. Draw some cards. There's our Sheoldred. They don't have any counter spells. This forces them to have a bounce. They do have instant speed interaction, so they do have bounce. Yep, that was to be expected. We have Corrupt here. We can blow up their Teferi, which is probably a good idea. I would really like to spend it on their face. I'm not gonna lie.
Knowledge is meant to be shared.
Probably gonna stay untapped for the Sheoldred, which is obnoxious. Erotai Scorn. Oh, my bad. Essence Gather. That was a creature they control. This is the deck. Fun, right? Removal. At least that was not exile, so we might be able to return it. Especially draw into like a Cruelty of Gix, but we're not gonna draw into anything because why would we draw into something useful? Haughty Djinn. Another creature from Teferi. Probably.
It's nice to see a familiar face.
When you draw 5 cards a turn, you can keep pumping out tokens. How many cards did they draw? That's 1. That's it. Okay. I was a bit lying there. They didn't draw 5 cards. We have 6 mana, so what we can do is go ahead and make them do Debt to the Kami. They can't counter this if they want. Oops. Savage target this corrupt to their face, but we kind of need to get rid of that haughty Jin. Kind of need to get rid of the haughty Jin. Do they have lethal next turn? The answer is probably. Probably. Because it's haughty Jin, they can just discard like 5 million cards if they feel like with a thirst for discovery or something.
I am here to learn.
Thirst for knowledge. What's it called? Oh, they don't have it. Oh, they haven't had it. Ding. Counter. Wow. Wow, you two-shot us. Oh my god. So fun. Wow, so much fun. Alright, well. That's been Haughty Jin. Not Haughty Jin. That's been Sheoldred Tribal. I think we've learned our lesson that Sheoldred is not to be played by itself. Nor is really any card to be played by itself. Probably should have just played unranked so that we may have gotten to see the deck go off a bit. I will say that I did have like one kind of unranked game that was kind of funny. I got to play Sheoldred and then I double casted Blood Pact on the opponent, taking them from 12 health all the way down to 0 because each of these does 6 damage. You have 2 of them for 6 mana. You're doing 12 damage. Pretty crazy. That is one really nice thing about Blood Pact, but I don't think the meta is friendly to you at all, nor is the color black all that good by itself if you're playing no creatures besides Sheoldred. The creatures in black, I think, is partially what makes black amazing. You think of, like, Evolved Sleeper, you play it turn 1 against a Haughty Jin deck or a control deck, and you're just popping it up, and they didn't get to counterspell it, and you're getting tons of value out of it. It's a Death Toucher, it's a massive, it's gaining you cards. You play Tenacious Underdog, and the opponent kills it, but you get to keep casting it back if you really want to sneak in, kill their planeswalkers after board wipes, or stuff like that. Oh, what about Phyrexian Fleshgorger? It's a menacing, life-linking ward card that makes you lose life. You also got like the Cemetery Prowler. No, is that the name of the card? No, that's the green mythic cycle. There's the Graveyard card that like exiles a card, deals 1 damage, gains you 1 life, can transform. You have Liliana, you have Sheoldred, of course, you have Invoke Despair, you have what other good black cards? I'm struggling. Well, you also have all like the removal spells that we've played here, but I think the answer is black just misses a few things on its own if you're relying only on the sorceries, which this deck really was all about black instants and sorceries for the most part. We can see that Sheoldred kind of got wrecked by exile removal because our opponent would exile it, and then we can't cast Undying Malice on it and keep it alive. And then if they exile it, we went to Gix's command it like an idiot and wasted our Gix's command because we didn't check our graveyard beforehand. And then our opponent played cards that would have been able to kill both of them with Gix's command, and then it was a bit of a mess. I think you can definitely get better games with this deck. I certainly think we got a bit unlucky here. But do I think this deck's good? No. I think it was a fun try at Sheoldred Tribal, but not good. So I would say if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to catch more Brothers War action, and I will catch you all in the next video. Have a nice morning, afternoon, night, evening, whatever, whenever, and wherever you're watching. Ciao.